Hello and welcome to RIP with Lindsay, where we do a deep dive into some of the hidden cases that didn't necessarily make headlines but still deserve to be heard. In today's story, we're going to explore a tale of obsession, of betrayal, but most of all, a relentless pursuit of justice, even when all of the evidence pointed directly at those sworn to protect it. This is the story of Sherri Rasmussen, and how a bright young woman's life was extinguished not by a stranger, but by those sworn to protect her and serve. Get ready to rest in peace. It's 1986, February 24th, in Los Angeles, California. 29-year-old Sherri Rasmussen was the kind of woman anybody would be so lucky to know. She was a nursing director at Glendale Adventist Medical Center and was a rising star in her field.
Shut your mouth.
Known not just for her skills, but for her compassion. Smart, kind, engaged to a handsome software engineer named John, life was, well, seemingly perfect. That morning, Sherri spoke with her father on the phone and mentioned feeling a little uneasy, that maybe she'd stay home from work. But there was no panic, no warning of what was about to come. Later that afternoon, John came home to find Sherri's body. She had been brutally beaten, bitten, and shot 3 times in the chest. Their condominium was in absolute disarray, and a struggle had very clearly taken place. At first glance, it looked like a burglary gone wrong. A VCR was missing, drawers had all been pulled out. The Los Angeles Police Department had a clear narrative. Sherri had obviously surprised a burglar and paid the ultimate price. An open and shut case, or so it seemed. But almost immediately, things didn't add up. For one, the scene seemed staged. The missing VCR tape, it was an outdated model, practically worthless even back in 1986. Jewelry, cash, expensive electronics, all completely untouched. And there was something else, something that would nag at Sherri's family for decades. They remembered Sherri talking just months before her death about a woman who was bothering her, someone sort of aggressive and unpredictable. A woman who had once dated her fiancé, John. A woman who was an LAPD officer. Her name was Stephanie Lazarus. Attractive, athletic, and by all appearances, a promising young detective in the LAPD's anti-art theft division. Stephanie had dated John in college, and though their relationship had fizzled, she really wasn't ready to let go.
Neither was he.
Friends would later recount that Stephanie showed up at John's apartment uninvited, even after he started dating Sherri. She once showed up crying, wearing only a bathrobe, begging John to sleep with her just one more time. And in the months before Sherri's murder, Sherri confided in family and coworkers about Stephanie's stalking behavior, showing up at her work, confronting her, warning her to back off. Sherri was scared, and she had every reason to be. Despite these ominous signs, the investigation in 1986 focused entirely on the burglary angle. No suspects from Sherri's personal life were seriously considered, no background checks, and, most notably, no interviews with John's ex-girlfriends.
Ooh, she skated.
The case went cold. Over the years, Sherri's parents begged and pleaded detectives to take another look, to look deeper, to investigate Stephanie Lazarus in particular. But they were brushed off. After all, Stephanie was one of them. Fast forward decades later to 2009. Advances in forensic technology had given cold case detectives a new tool, DNA. And evidence from the scene had, fortunately, been preserved. Most notably, the saliva from the bite mark on Sherri's arm. Detectives ran the DNA through the system, and the profile that emerged? A woman, a female suspect,
Was she fine?
which made the random burglary theory go out the window. With a short list of possibilities, detectives circled back to the people Sherri had feared most. But how do you investigate one of your own? In a bizarre sting operation, officers casually bumped into Stephanie Lazarus at work. They invited her for a chat about an unrelated case, they said. When she left her coffee cup behind, they seized it. DNA from the cup was an exact match to the saliva found on Sherri's body. June 5th, 2009, Stephanie Lazarus was arrested at her desk 23 years after the murder.
Did she have her panties on?
In interrogations, Stephanie claimed ignorance, insisting she barely even knew Sherri, but her lies quickly unraveled. Prosecutors painted a vivid picture, a jealous ex-lover furious that John had chosen Sherri over her, using her knowledge as a cop to orchestrate the perfect crime, or so she thought. In 2012, Stephanie Lazarus stood trial for the murder of Sherri Rasmussen. The evidence was damning. The DNA, the history, the obsessive behavior. It took the jury less than 2 days to convict her. Stephanie was sentenced to 27 years in prison. She will be eligible for parole in 2034, and she'll be 74 years old. For Sherri's family, the trial surely brought some measure of closure, but the case leaves lingering questions about loyalty, about how institutions protect their own, and even about how long justice can be delayed, but not ultimately denied.
I mean, are you guys, is this something, I mean, you said I was going to interview somebody about art and how you guys are,
Here's
I mean, I can't even remember if we had a conversation. I mean, I may have seen her at his apartment, you know, geez, how many years ago is that? I don't even know what year she, you know, got killed. I mean, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that somebody would be saying that I did this. I mean, we had a fight, and so I went and killed her. I mean, come on.
Well,
That's,
okay. All right.
well, thanks for giving me the courtesy. I wish I could record it.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
So there you have it, the story of Sherri Rasmussen. Thank you so much for joining me on RIP with Lindsay.
Thank you, okay? What about me?